Hello, good afternoon. Michael Wynn, Chief Digital Officer of Digital Ops, a division of RB Oppenheim Associates. Thanks for joining in on the video podcast today where we talk about digital strategies to grow your business. Today, we're going to talk about 7 ways to segment your audience to leverage contextual content to increase brand awareness. Why would you want to increase brand awareness? Guys, that is the biggest piece of the funnel when it comes to people who are in the market and thinking about making a purchase decision. The awareness stage is the biggest pool. And I think a lot of businesses make the mistake of trying to put one single piece of content or creative out there to try to catch fish. It doesn't make sense. And the reason why it doesn't make sense is because in one piece of creative, you can't address and cover all of the motivations of why someone is going to make a decision. If you go and you talk to your sales division or your service representatives or your member director or whoever it is that is responsible for and who meets and discusses face to face with your clients, if you were to go to them and say, give me a list of the 8 to 12 different reasons why people have decided to do business with us. And I bet you they could come up with a list, and they could probably go on even more than that. They could probably come up with 20 different reasons. And I think that is the first step in really taking a deep dive into the motivations of why people make decisions. So let's start with that. So how we're going to segment this audience so that we can really create this contextual message is where we start. So number one, we're going to make a list of all the reasons why your customers do business with you. So it might include they're afraid of missing out. It could be that they, care about their appearance, and so they want to buy the latest watch or jacket. They want to, make a purchase decision that they can feel smart about, or that they can save money, or that can give them an advantage, so all the different motivations. And it does have to get into or do with our human behaviors and what drives us to be who we are. And so you really gotta dig deep and create a comprehensive list. So once you've created that list of those motivations, then turn around and write a short sentence that says, are you worried about whether or not you have the advantage when it comes to playing tennis? Or are you worried about whether or not you have you made the right decision when it comes to your mortgage? You create that sentence or create that question that addresses that very specific motivation, that pain point, right? We're talking about pain points, that people make decisions based on these pain points. Like they get to this point and they're like, I must do something about this because, like right now, I need to go to the pool store because my pool is green, right? I didn't put enough chlorine in. Now I got to go get some yellow stop. So, as a pool owner, I would create, are you tired of looking at a green pool, right? That's a feeling. I'm tired of it. So once you've written a short sentence based on each one, and again, you need 8, 9, 12, 15, 20 different motivations, write them all out, right? And again, you've got to talk to the people on the front lines and then create the questions that speak directly to those motivations. Now, you've got your list of questions, so you're ready for number 3. You need to find a visual that communicates that same exact pain point. It's a picture of a guy standing out and looking at his pool that's green and scratching his head like, what am I going to do? Or you take a picture of a guy standing out or a lady standing out, you know, in front of a vehicle, and she's sitting there and looking at, you know, her car, and, you know, has a bunch of groceries in her hand, and she's, you know, thinking, I don't have enough room for all these groceries in my car. Really try to find that visual for and connecting with that motivation. So you made your list, you made your question, you found an image. Now, here's the next thing. Here's where you need to get a little creative. Find the best person in your organization who has a great voice, who is good on camera, and have them ask those questions. Just speak right into the video and say, hey, are you worried about whether or not your roof is going to start leaking for when the next storm comes, right? If you're a roofing company, and you have them go through and they ask all of those questions, like all 20 of them, right? And then if your company services multiple areas, you want to have that person get very specific with the geography. So, hey, you know, do you live in Austin, Texas? And are you worried about your pool turning green? Is your pool already green, not ready for summer? If you speak directly to not only the location, but then also add that very specific motivation, you're really doubling up. And what happens is when I come across that type of creative, it speaks directly to me, right? And so the other reasons, like for instance, let's say, you know, landscaping, you know, maybe I don't care about that, or maybe the motivation of having a spa for my pool, you know, it doesn't interest me, but I am worried about it being a green, right? So once you do that and record that video, so now you've got creative photos, you've got video, you're speaking directly to each one of those 20 motivations, you're speaking directly to them, and you want to create a 45-second short video. And again, it doesn't have to be, you know, George Lucas quality. This is going on the social web, right? So the more authentic and real it is, the better. And then lastly, now this is going to take a little bit of work. So on this one, what we want to do is take those 12, 13, 14 sentences and questions and write an exhaustive sort of 1,000 word reasons why and what you can do about addressing that issue, and whether or not it has to do directly with your product, but really go deep into, you know, how you can feel better about when you do this, right? So take that 1,000, put it on your blog, and put it in LinkedIn. Great content. So now I've got my story, I got my audio, I got my visual, I got my written word. I'm ready to deploy my creative on Facebook and Instagram ad platform. And I want to take all 16, 17, 18 pieces of creative that I've done. So I've got 16, 17 pieces of just still images. I got 15, 16, 17, 18 videos, put it all up, right? And then I can break my audience segments into locations, right? I can split it into female versus male, and create all those different sets and put it all up in one ad strategy, one ad campaign. When you do that, Facebook ad platform will use its AI to rotate those ads through. So maybe the first time I see the ad, you're not hitting me with the very specific motivation that I have, but the second one you do, or maybe the third one you do, but I'm not seeing the same one over and over in an irrelevant context. You're going to hit me with that very specific one. And that, my friends, is the key to segmenting your audience and leveraging that contextual creative so that you can increase brand awareness. So you want to observe those trends, you want to adapt, pull off the ones that no one's responding to, replace it with others, or just kill them all together, right? And then start over every month. Boom, 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 like clockwork. That, my friends, is the successful way in a modern digital marketing strategy. That's how you deploy it. It's very simple. Guys, my name is Michael Wynn. I'm the Chief Digital Officer of Digital Ops. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys tomorrow.